So I'm delighted to welcome to the stage Victoria Olsina. Victoria is the LGBTQ+ Comedian of the Year in the UK. Julia and I like to think that we discovered Victoria. We both went to queer comedian nights in the same week, I think. Both were very impressed with Victoria's comedy and went up to her and said, look, we've got this amazing conference. Do you want to come perform? And then she went on to win the prize. So pretty sure it was us that did that. Victoria, come to the stage.
Thank you. Hello, EUROUT. How are we? My name is Victoria, and I'm originally from Argentina, which is a bit different from the UK. In the UK, for example, you have jobs. And in Argentina, we have much more attractive people. Whenever I tell people that I'm from Argentina, they get very excited, like, oh my God, I love Argentina, football, samba. I have 2 times been to Rio. It worries me that people's favorite part of Argentina is Brazil. I know that the people that laugh at the last bit has just found out. What I think is interesting about Brazil, their flag has this blue circle, white stripe, and something written on it. A phrase that translates to order and progress. Have you ever been to Brazil? Just to put it in perspective, it's like if the English flag said smiles and sunshine. Or tanned and outspoken. I feel that if the Argentinian flag had to say a truthful statement about ourselves, it should say stakes and economic crisis. And maybe yours could say crisis. In that regard, I feel that Argentina is a bit much more advanced than the UK. Like, for example, I don't want to brag, but you have 10% inflation, we have 100. You had 5 prime ministers in 6 years, we had 5 presidents in a week. Argentina is such an unstable country, politically and economically, that people call us the Britain of Latin America. But still, we have much more attractive people. What else I wanted to tell you? It's the first time I do a lot of SEO conferences, and it's the first time I'm speaking here as a comedian, so yeah, I feel good about myself. Thank you, Cameron and Julia, and thank you for coming here. Argentina is also a country obsessed with beauty. It's like the Essex of Latin America. And that explains pretty much why I look like this at the age of 36. The secret is Botox, and not being totally white. Sometimes people here, they say, oh, don't use Botox, you will not have any facial expressions. Bitch, I live in the UK. I don't need facial expressions. It is very common in Argentina to have plastic surgery. My dad has already had 3 facelifts, and you might be wondering, how does he look like now? Like somebody else. He's somewhere in between Pablo Escobar and Katie Price. For my 18th birthday, I told him I wanted a boob job, and his only comment was, and what about your nose? Fortunately, my mom was there just to say the obvious. Well, if the boob job is good, nobody will notice your nose. I'm from a city called Cordoba, second biggest city of Argentina, the Birmingham of Argentina. Scary place. When people ask me what it's like to live in Cordoba, I tell them that in 2015, we received a Syrian refugee family, and 6 months later, they went back to Syria. Sometimes my favorite part of Argentina is also Brazil. But Cordoba has one good thing. LSD is £1.50. I became interested in British culture because of the most talented and influential British band of all times, Spice Girls. I didn't know any English at the age of 11, but I knew that my favorite song was "Show me to the right if you gotta make it richer." English is a fascinating language. Many times people ask me why did I come to the UK, and I tell them, well, I came here to steal jobs, but only the most useless ones, like fintech. I knew this was the right audience for that one. I've been waiting 2 years to say that joke. Thank you. It's the only time you'll hear it ever again. So, yeah, I would like to be those kind of immigrants that people trust. You know, to do that in the UK, there is one rule. Your nationality has to match your profession. For example, you're Indian, you're a doctor, people trust you. You're Polish, you're a builder, people trust you, right? But I speak like this, and I work for a cryptocurrency company. Whenever I hear my own voice talking about Bitcoin on Zoom calls, I feel I'm the scam. Buy Bitcoin now, very cheap, bear market, buy Bitcoin now. So I've been trying to find ways to make my British middle-class clients trust me. So now instead of saying thank you, I say, thank you for shopping at Waitrose and Partners. I'm aware I have an accent, I have realized. And I think that people have mocked my accent in every job I had here in the UK. And it might sound surprising to you, like, what? People were mocking your accent in an industry made entirely by straight white men. How? But I remain resilient. I don't think it's easy to be a woman in crypto. And I remain resilient. Sometimes I even get so confident that I change my pronouns to he. I'm a lesbian, and sometimes straight people find it surprising. I think it's because I have very beautiful hair. Straight people ask me all the time, how did I realize I was a lesbian? And in my case, I think it was by having sex with women. I want to clarify that I don't mind straight people, as long as they don't act straight in public. Do we have anyone from the S community today? Any straights in? Thank you. How brave. Let's give it up, a big round of applause. Yeah, dating, your work is important, straight people. I want you to know that I see you. Dating is a bit hard for me here, mainly because in Argentina we have much more attractive people. And also because I'm the only lesbian in East London who is not a vegan. And talking about East London, I live in an area that is hipster but rough, so for self-protection, I carry an avocado knife. I like falling in love. My favorite love story is Romeo and Juliet. It lasts for 5 days and it leaves 6 people dead. I feel it's very Argentinian. And talking about Argentina, you know our most famous Argentinian, Maradona, the hand of God. A lot of women call me that. I know I attract 2 kinds of girls, straight girls and sociopaths. Sometimes I think they're the same thing. Also, I don't like to call them straight girls because I feel it undermines their potential. I prefer baby gays. Any baby gays in tonight? I'm not on dating apps because I'd rather meet women in person at my local lesbian venue, B&Q. I also used to get ghosted a lot when I was on dating apps. And whenever that would happen, I would send a last message, just emojis. Pumpkin, orthopedic leg, tooth. If somebody's going to be left confused, it's not going to be me. You should use it. Use it tonight. Everyone who is on Grindr right now, I might download it right now to see how many of you are there. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying was that, don't worry, I know my lines. It's not cringe. I have done this before at other events. It's all good. Ghosting. The last girl I met on a dating app was a career coach. You know, those one that tells you that nothing's stopping you but yourself. That's how you know she was white. The main issue between us was that she wanted kids and I wanted to be happy. And during the time we were together, I tried to research, like I wanted to find one person, at least one, who had children and that would assure me that these fuckers didn't make them any happier. And I did. I found one person, my mom. I feel that lesbian relationships are very intense, you know. Lesbians, we don't generally send a lot of nudes, but typically after the second date, we move in together. The lesbian version of Grindr, it's called Supla. Picture lesbian relationship time like dog years. 1 year for straight people equals to 7 years for a medium-sized lesbian. My question about time and perception of time is, what happens if you're a lesbian dog? I don't know. It's not comedy, it's just curiosity. The first woman I ever loved was Posh Spice, Victoria Beckham. At the age of 11, I thought we had a lot in common. We both wore shoes, for example. And it might surprise some of you, but we couldn't be together. Unfortunately, she didn't like 11-year-old girls, unlike many other celebrities. But still, she set up the pattern for every single other woman I later fell in love with. Elegant, emotionless, and mostly straight. My 11-year-old friends wanted to talk about friendship never ends, and I wanted to talk about when two Victorias become one. That was what I wanted, what I really, really wanted. My latest celebrity crush, I think, is someone that, just as Victoria Beckham defined the future of the UK, Priti Patel. Straight, sociopath, definitely both. I feel that Priti Patel is the kind of straight woman who would sleep with me and then deport me. And I feel conflicted about her being my celebrity crush because she's evil, but hot. I don't know what Rishi didn't bring her back. I mean, she's so much fitter than Suella Braverman, isn't she? I mean, if you have two people that are equally evil, equally incompetent, but one is way hotter than the other, it makes sense to me. I really wanted her to like me. So I decided, Priti, not Suella. So I decided that I hate immigrants now. They come to our country and they cannot even speak properly. I I have a girlfriend now, and she's really nice, very caring, very loving, incredibly sexy. That's how you know she's not British. And the problem that I have to be like in a very nice, stable relationship is like, I don't have any new jokes. Do you know how hard it is for a comedian just to be happy? I should be writing an hour-long show. Time flies very slowly when you don't have new jokes. The trick is to remain confident in silence. Are you having a good time? Did you enjoy your lunch? Me too. I like that we are in silence together. It's not awkward for anyone. Does anybody here do coke? No? Well, if you don't, it's never too late to start. 2 p.m., it's early. I feel that doing coke here in the UK is a bit like dating. At home it's cheaper and much better quality. I like my dealer here. I think he's a good guy. Because once I underpaid by mistake and I still have all of my fingers. And being a lesbian, that's a plus. The tricky part is that lately he has realized that I'm a comedian, and he has been very insistent in coming to see me perform. And I don't know, how do we feel in this room about inviting your dealer to your workplace? I didn't know what to do, so I invited him today. He will stand by the door on the way out. So if you need anything, just tell him that the Brazilian girl sent you. I'm doing a work in progress on November the 22nd at 2 North Town, 7 p.m. So if you want to hear me being silent, you can come to that. Thank you. You have been lovely. I have been Victoria Olsina.